Yeah, it was very emotional game for a lot of reasons. The senior day always is. Really, guys played their hearts out for Arizona State all year. So really was happy that guys like Mo Odom and Pig Johnson today had the opportunity to have moments. Mo hit some clutch shots. Pig Johnson's 5-point run was really good there and a much needed time in the game. And the first half was kind of really like an out of body experience. Some very unusual first half. I thought we played as good a defense as we played all season in that half. And overall, the whole game, minus the offensive rebounds, we held them to under 30% for the game, which is something that we really haven't done. I don't think we could have beaten anybody on our schedule two months ago shooting 32%. Like, I don't care who it is, but we've come a long way, particularly on the defensive end, and just really good effort.
Did you feel before the game the players were really amped up for this contest, knowing that it would possibly be your last game?
I don't think it's anything that we talked about at all with the players, and it was more reflecting on prior, senior days and what that means and what it means to have your last game. Like I had goosebumps on the bench to start the game. I looked over and Mo Odom's mom, who flew in from New Jersey, was sitting right behind our bench and she was crying. And it's like moments like that that are so powerful, and especially for a kid of his quality and what he's meant to this university this year. So that's more of what it was for this game. Yeah.
Pretty sure that it was in Lawrence that you wore the guard you stuff the first time when you had the big win early in your career, and here you are in the guard you shirt again. Is there symbolism that you feel from any of this?
Well, I think I had a suit on in that game, so Chris, at that point we weren't going to the more casual look. That was a post-COVID situation, but I just wanted to think about those type of players as I coached the game. That was important to me. Guys like Shannon Evans and Trey Holder and Cody Justice, the three guys that really jump-started relevancy for this program, getting it to number 3 in the country, and I wanted to think about them as the game progressed, because those guys are so important to me.
Hey, Coach, do you have any updates on Allen and how he's doing right now?
Allen's shaken up. He was actually available to come back in. He landed, hard on his elbow, and I'm sure he's going to be sore tomorrow. But he's gutted out and everything. That was a huge play. Big steal, and I told him I didn't know he had like that behind the back dribble in his bag, and it was a heck of a move to get to the basket, and that was a key part of that game. And so I'm happy for his contributions as a senior as well.
Samba, I imagine, was about as good as you could have asked for tonight on both ends. Just what can you say about his impact tonight?
Yeah, I mean, look, Peterson is a phenomenal prospect, and he showed in the second half, especially why. But I know there were a lot of NBA guys in the building, and they had to be looking at that guy.
You've been a little humble. Do you recognize those kids fought for you today?
They've been doing that. We prioritize high character more than ever this year with last year's situation at the end. So I think our staff was really considering that as we looked at these kids, and these kids care about the game. They want to play the right way. A lot of them are underdogs, like I always was, and that's why I could relate to them in terms of what they're doing, and they've never given up, and we've actually gotten better despite going through a tough stretch in January in the Big 12.
Talk about just the prioritizing character and building this roster. Is that the biggest takeaway that you have from this group that's going to be overachieved?
I would imagine like we were picked dead last in the Big 12 by everybody, and no one thought we could win any games basically, and they've, I think, proven a lot of people wrong. I think the people from Arizona State that showed up tonight, and it was a great crowd, and thankful for that, to honor the the seniors. I think there's a reason, because they are kind of fun to watch. We are not perfect. We're far from perfect, and we do some crazy things sometimes, and we don't always get every rebound, but they're going to lay it all out on the line, and I think that's what sports is about.
Any thoughts, though, just obviously Kansas and your big games against Kansas and maybe your last home game and it's Kansas? Is it, have you had any time to kind of think?
I don't know, it's just not really. I just, all day I've just been thinking of the meaning of winning this game to continue to gain confidence. You never know what could happen. We have another big-time opponent on Saturday, and then the Big 12 tournament. Every time you match up with someone, it's a huge opportunity. So that's how I've been approaching it.
Peterson's one of the more high-profile guards you guys have played this year, but you guys have done a very good job of guarding guards all year. Utah, for example, is stopping their guys multiple times this year. What do you make about your defensive schematics against guards? Being a guy who played point guard is something that you kind of take pride in being able to stop?
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to my assistant coaches that put together the game plan, that scouted, and we wanted to force them to make jump shots. They're a team that really could attack the paint with counsel, and they were able to do that some in the second half, and Peterson. But we wanted to show bodies to those guys, and I think our players were very active. We had a lot of deflections in the first half, and our activity and being in the right position was important.
It felt like the 20-point cushion you had built was unraveling pretty quickly there in the second half. What does it say about this group that was able to turn that around and hold the line?
I told them after the game that I've been doing this a long time as a player and a coach, and you have a big lead like that and you lose it all virtually. It is extremely hard to find a way to win, and that's a testament again to their desire to win, their character, and their guts, and their fighters. And it starts with Mo Odom, and it goes right down the line. Pig Johnson, again, hitting those shots when they cut it to 2 was just like, you can't even say how big those plays were.
You talked about their development as a group on the defensive end over the course of the season. You just said you've been doing this for a long time. Do you feel like you grew as a coach this season at all? Did you learn new things about yourself with this team?
Not really. I'd have to really analyze and go through the whole deal. But I felt very confident in them. I wasn't. I was very calm considering what was going on. All hell was breaking loose and everything was unraveling, and but we all just said, hey, let's take a deep breath. And I told them at halftime, a lot of things happened in that first half, with Coach Self, and that's like a full circle moment. I look back to one of my first big games versus Arizona, and I was marched out of here, and now, it's the other guy here in this situation. But and we shot 19 free throws to 2. So I was like, fellas, you're not going to get many whistles here early in this half. You got to play through contact and all those things. But Kansas, there's a reason they're top 10-ish type of program that people think could potentially win a national championship, because they're going to have a response, especially when Coach Self, I'm sure, had an opportunity to address them at halftime.
Chris?
You talked about your emotions with it being senior night. Considering the fact that Mo and Pig and Allen were only here for this year, what was it about them as people that got you so attached in such a short amount of time?
Because, again, they're all kind of underdogs. They came from humble beginnings. They all climbed the ladder, and they really appreciate the opportunity to play here. And it's not like there's no entitlement with them. And Mo feels like he's got something to prove all the time. Pig had no scholarship offers. He's one of the best values that anybody could ever get in the portal is Pig Johnson. And Alan McCabe, with all the guys, and then I've touched on this, just you guys that feel like it's okay to tap out on seasons and just shut it down because they're hurt a little bit. And I've had a couple of players like that. And Alan McCabe is the total opposite of that. He's battled through a lot of injuries. Bryce Ford, the same thing. Santi, all these guys have played through injuries, and they've because they're trying to help their team win.
Chris?
Have players talked about the uncertainty of your status and how that
I think they understand the writing on the wall. There's not like a lot of discussions about it, but you know, I could assume that they would have an idea. Yeah.
Did it feel to you like we're bringing a little something extra in a game like this, given that circumstance, or just given that the teams kind of needs that?
I don't think it's me. I really don't. Like, I know, I mean, it'd be a nice little storyline or something, but I really believe this is who they are. And we lost our way for a few weeks and had a hard time winning some games in a very difficult league. But we picked ourselves off the mat, and I think we're playing as good as we were, at any point in the season because of our defense. And I think these kids just want to win. And players like Mo Odom still believes there's hope, and I do as well, until someone tells us otherwise and someone outplays us and puts an end to what we're doing right now.
That's good. About when you're driving to work?
I was all over the place today. I was just kind of, it was kind of an awkward day. So I always feel like this enormous emotion with the seniors and the last game and the whole stuff, and then just this opponent and the history I've had as a player and coach with Kansas, and it's just kind of very ironic and very, very weird day.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
Let's go.